welcome back to the channel. We are looking at the Lumineth Realm-Lords Army set that has just been announced by Games Workshop that will be out for pre-order in a few days. So, without much mucking around, let's get stuck in and have a look at the contents of what you're going to get in this new army set. So to give you a bit of a preface here, Games Workshop seem to be releasing these kind of army sets now. They've already done one with the Sisters of Battle for 40k, and now this is the first one they've done for, I think it's the first one that they've done for Age of Sigmar. So it's a good way to get started on a new army when they've been released, because you get the models, a ton of models, and the special edition rulebook and some dice, cards, and tokens. So in this box set, you're going to get hold of 16 models, an army rulebook, the core rules, some army cards, a combat gauge, tokens, and dice. So everything is themed to the Lumineth Realm-Lords Army set itself. So the first model we're going to look at is the Light of Eltharion. So this model has been, and all these models have actually been announced a fair while ago, but we're finally getting a much more detailed look at it. We have this fairly imposing model. I love this design. The whole range of the Lumineth Realm-Lords harkens back to the 90s High Elves in sort of subtle ways, but also not subtle ways. But it's just like this completely revamped, re-updated imagining of the High Elves, which I absolutely love. And this model is just a prime example of it. It's just absolutely striking model. And there's just some bits you're like, how is this even stuck together? So you've got the arms and the legs are all separate, even the helmet as well. The amount of work that's gone into trying to get all the points connected so it doesn't fall apart and simply holds together is amazing. If you look on the right leg there, it even looks like there's a little bit of a gap that it may not even be connected. On the sprue itself, you can see in the top left-hand corner that that left leg is a separate piece, and I'm just looking around to see on that sprue where it would connect. I can't actually tell, and I don't think I'll be able to tell until I get my hands on it, but just this is clearly the best model of the kit, and one of the best models that I think Games Workshop have been put out for a while. So we also have a bit of a closer look of the model itself. So we do get a look on the back there. So a big sheath, which is really nice for one of his many swords, and also sort of a more of a top-down view to give you another look of how separated the pieces of armor are. Again, on that left leg, I can't see where it's connected, or maybe a bit of the cloak, but I really, really love that model. The next part of the set, we have the Vanari Auralan Wardens. So these are sort of a phalanx, spear, shield war unit. And it looks like you get possibly 9 models in the set. I'm just looking off screen at one of the other images just to make sure that's correct. I'm sorry, there's 10, including the sergeant of the unit. They all have unique shields. And if on one of the Warhammer community website articles, they do reference that they all have their own individual sigils and signs. And we have the sprues there. They're a bit shrunk down, but it looks like the bodies are made up of several different parts. And you can, from these models, you can really see the harken callbacks to the High Elves of the old world, particularly with the silver, it's not chainmail, but it's sort of this weird overlapping plate armor, and the cloaks. Not so much the helmets, because the helmets used to be the really big tall ones, but you still have that height going on with them there. I really do. Again, I like this model. I just really like this range. It sort of still has that fantasy feel, but it has moved on from the more stereotypical fantasy that the old world was. Don't get me wrong, I love the old world, but I love how particularly they can push forward a bit and be like, okay, we can actually do more cooler things with different poses and more intricate design than what they could do previously when it was handcrafted. And now because it's all 3D done, it makes it a little bit easier to do these kind of things. So you get a lot more personality and detail in there, but they also are able to experiment a bit more and sort of go on tangents of different design and sort of come up with something that's familiar but also unique. Also in the set, we have the Vanari Dawnriders. You get 5 of these riders in the box, and they all have slightly different shields, Slightly different sigils on the dressing and armor, which again, this is a theme that goes across the entire army. All models are somewhat unique in that respect. All the horses on the sprues seem to be broken up in a couple of different pieces, so looks like there's going to be some fun there. Like the heads look completely separate, which is kind of cool. I'm just looking on the sprue. It seems to be that there is a mix of spears and swords, although it may just be one sword that's been drawn out, which would be the leader of the unit. We also have some more close-up shots, including the flag, which I do really love flags and banners. If you've watched some of my other videos, particularly about the banners and Creepy Skulls video for 40k 9th edition, I love banners. I love that these banners do have that detail already on the model itself, which is always really nice. And we've got a few close-ups there as well, just to give you a little bit more look at the detail. So for accessories, we get some army cards. They didn't actually explain what's on those cards or show what's on those cards. A little cardboard distance gauge, some tokens, which is nice. There's also a longer distance gauge, which is cool. And of course, my favorite thing, dice, which have some kind of sigil on there, which I believe the Warhammer community site did show off previously, but I wasn't able to find that. I think that sigil actually has a specific meaning, as all the sigils do. There is a lot of articles on the website that talk about what the sigils mean. So what else have we got in here? We do have the army book, which looks gorgeous. They've only released one image there, which is a map of the, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, Metrican geosegment, possibly, or the Radiant Nation. It's probably going to be packed full of lore, as all Games Workshop books are, just packed full of lore and art. So it's probably going to be, honestly, a good book to pick up anyway. I'd love just pouring through the army books just for the lore, which is great. Lore and the art, I should say. I could always remember the art. So yeah, there's still a lot of models that haven't been announced or released yet. A whole bunch of pictures have come out for various different models that will be out sometime soon. If it's going off the same release pattern as the Sisters of Battle, they will put this out, and then a few months later, or probably like a month or two later, the releases will start to come out for these units that are in this box, and then some further other units. So I really love the design of this. Like I've said, it harkens back to the old High Elves. And I think that could also be partly to do with the color that they're using, the creamy whites and the various different blues. But yeah, I really do like it. So this was going to be up for pre-order sometime soon, which is lovely. So in the comments below, leave a comment with what model was your favorite. My favorite model is the Light of Eltharion, and I think I might just, even though I don't usually buy a lot of fantasy models, I'll probably pick that up. So if you like this video, definitely like, and if you also like this video, definitely subscribe, because I'll be doing a whole bunch of these kinds of videos, all different kind of reviews, pulling up all the pictures for you guys so you can check them all out. So until next time, thank you for watching.